Hey, Celtics Nation! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. Whispers have been growing louder around TD Garden, and if the latest buzz is to be believed, we might be witnessing the end of one of the most respected tenures in recent Boston Celtics history. Al Horford, the veteran big man and locker room leader, appears to be preparing his final curtain call in green and white. While nothing has been officially announced, the emotional undertones in recent interviews, the prolonged embraces with teammates after the finals, and his absence from early off-season workouts have fueled speculation for fans who've followed Horford's journey from his first stint in Boston to his triumphant return. This moment feels bittersweet. There's no denying what he's meant to this franchise, not just statistically or strategically, but spiritually. His steady presence, quiet leadership, and unwavering professionalism have made him a beacon of consistency through years of change. Now, the Celtics may be facing a future without that calming influence. And the question on everyone's mind is, what's next for both sides? Is this truly goodbye, or just a pause before a different role emerges? Whatever the case, one thing's certain: the Celtics without Horford will feel different, and the NBA will feel the loss of one of its classiest veterans. In locker rooms, around training facilities, and across social media, the chatter is only growing. Sources close to the organization hint that the Celtics are preparing for a transitional period, possibly ushering in a new era without Horford on the court. While the team is tight-lipped, citing respect for the player and the process, insiders suggest that behind closed doors, talks have been leaning toward a mutual parting. This isn't about performance. Horford still contributed meaningfully, especially in high-stakes moments, but more about timing, legacy, and a franchise looking to get younger, leaner, and maybe even faster. There's also the consideration of minutes management and the long grind of the regular season. Horford, at 38, has defied expectations with his durability and basketball IQ. But the toll is visible. He's hinted at wanting to spend more time with family, possibly return to Florida, or even explore media or coaching opportunities. Those closest to him say he's not ruling anything out. Could we see him join the Celtics staff in a player development role? Might he be headed to a front office elsewhere? One thing's for sure: the respect he commands means any decision will be made with grace and gratitude on both sides. Al Horford's journey through the NBA has been one of the more quietly impressive narratives in recent basketball memory. Drafted third overall back in 2007 by the Atlanta Hawks, few could have predicted the impact he'd have across multiple franchises, let alone the profound legacy he'd leave in Boston. His first stint with the Celtics from 2016 to 2019 was marked by poise, professionalism, and playoff success, even if the elusive title never materialized. When he left for the Sixers and later landed in Oklahoma City, fans in Boston felt the absence, and it wasn't long before murmurs of a return began circulating. That homecoming finally came in 2021, and it was like Horford had never left. He instantly brought back the structure, leadership, and defensive presence the Celtics sorely missed. And when the 2020 finals run happened, it felt like a redemption arc for him and the team. Now, as he stands on the edge of possibly stepping away, it's impossible not to reflect on how much of Boston's defensive identity and unselfish culture is tied to Horford's influence. It's not just about blocks or rebounds, it's about the example he set, about being the adult in the room, about always putting team before self. Round the league, there's a quiet admiration for how Horford has conducted himself throughout his career. He's never been the flashiest player, never the loudest voice, but always the one you could count on when things got tough. Coaches loved him, teammates trusted him, opponents respected him. And while he may not have collected the individual accolades of some of his peers, his value was never in question to those who really understood the game. In Boston, he became something of a cultural cornerstone, especially during a time when leadership was sorely needed. When the young core of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were finding their footing, it was Horford who guided them, challenged them, and kept them grounded. His willingness to sacrifice, to take on different roles without complaint, to defend bigger, faster players night after night, it spoke volumes. Now, with the Celtics coming off their 18th championship and poised to enter a new chapter, the decision to move on from Horford feels less like rejection and more like reverence. A celebration of what he's given and a recognition that he deserves the chance to step away on his own terms at the height of relevance, not after decline. Some insiders are already drawing comparisons to other Celtics legends who transitioned gracefully into retirement or new roles within the organization. Think about the quiet dignity of Bill Russell's post-playing career, or how Cedric Maxwell became a beloved broadcaster. There's real talk that Horford could find himself taking a similar path. In fact, some believe talks have already begun. Soft conversations, exploratory, respectful, perhaps a role in player mentorship, perhaps even dipping his toes into broadcasting or community outreach. After all, his connection to Boston goes beyond basketball. He's been active in charitable efforts, worked with youth programs, and has built genuine relationships throughout the city. Fans don't just respect him, they admire him, and that kind of goodwill doesn't fade overnight. It carries weight, it creates opportunities, so while the jersey might soon come off for good, the presence might remain, maybe courtside instead of on the court, maybe behind a mic instead of guarding the paint, but still there, still contributing, still being, in some vital way, part of the Celtics fabric. Because once you earn your place in Boston basketball lore, it's yours forever. Even among the current roster, there's an emotional shift taking place. During end-of-season interviews, players like Tatum and Brown spoke with an unusual level of reverence about Horford. Tatum called him the best teammate I've ever had, while Brown said Horford taught me how to be a professional every day. These aren't throwaway lines, these are tributes. You could sense the weight in their voices, the understanding that something was changing, that someone irreplaceable might be leaving. The organization has done an admirable job of bridging generations, from the Pierce Garnett talent era to the smart Tatum Brown era, and Horford has been a crucial bridge between those timelines. He was the common thread, the steady hand during turbulence, the mature voice when tensions rose. Losing that doesn't just affect rotations, it affects identity, culture, continuity, and so, even if the Celtics are preparing to embrace a younger front court, perhaps with a focus on development and speed, the emotional void left by Horford won't be easily filled. Leadership can't be drafted, it can't be traded for, it's cultivated over years, through sacrifice and respect, and that's what Horford gave year after year, minute after minute. Of course, there's always the possibility that this isn't truly goodbye. Some fans remain hopeful that Horford could return mid-season, should the Celtics face injuries or need a veteran boost heading into the playoffs. His understanding of the system, his relationship with coach Joe Mazzulla, and his chemistry with the core players make him an ideal emergency option. Think of it like the Adonis Haslem model in Miami, less about minutes, more about presence. In a league where experience matters more than ever in the postseason, Horford's mere presence on the bench could be a game changer, and if Boston were to struggle in any way defensively, you can bet the first name fans and analysts would bring up as Horford's. That's the kind of respect he's earned, so while a formal retirement might be looming, no one's ruling out a return down the line, not yet. Not while Horford himself remains non-committal, not while the Celtics remain open to all options, and certainly not while fans keep chanting his name every time his highlights play on the Jumbotron. Because sometimes, in sports, goodbyes aren't forever, they're just pauses before a comeback. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In recent weeks, the Celtics front office has also been unusually silent on the matter. Brad Stevens, known for his transparency and direct communication, has sidestepped questions about Horford's future, calling it a personal decision, and praising Al for being one of the best professionals I've ever worked with. That's not a no, it's not a yes either. It's something in between, a respectful wait-and-see approach. And when the front office is this guarded, it often means talks are happening behind the scenes. Contract restructuring, a ceremonial final season, a coaching shadow role, all options are on the table, and each one comes with its own implications. What matters is that both parties seem to be handling this moment with dignity. No drama, no leaks, just mutual respect and patience. And that, more than anything, signals just how rare Horford is in today's NBA, where so many exits are marked by bitterness or disappointment. This one, if it's happening, feels earned, mature, real, the kind of ending every veteran hopes for but few get. So until the final decision drops, we're left reading between the lines, watching, wondering, hoping. Fans, naturally, are grappling with mixed emotions. There's pride in what Horford has accomplished, sadness in the potential, farewell, and gratitude for every moment he wore the Celtics jersey. Social media has become a hub for tributes, highlight reels, heartfelt thank you posts, even speculative memes imagining Horford in various roles post-retirement. It's clear that his departure would leave more than a roster spot open. It would leave a hole in the heart of Celtics Nation, and perhaps that's the best measure of a player's impact, not in rings or stats, but in how deeply fans feel their absence. Horford has always been a fan favorite, not for highlight dunks or viral moments, but for the way he played the game the right way, quietly, effectively, selflessly. He was the guy diving for loose balls, making the extra pass, calling out rotations, mentoring rookies, the kind of player every team needs but few have. And as fans wrestle with the possibility of his exit, they're also coming to terms with what that says about the passage of time. Heroes age, eras end, and in that realization is a kind of melancholy beauty, a reminder to appreciate greatness while it lasts. Ultimately, whatever decision Al Horford makes will be the right one for him, for his family, and perhaps even for the franchise. He's earned that autonomy, and if this truly is the end, if the jersey has been hung up for the last time, then let it be remembered as one of the most meaningful chapters in Celtics history. Not just for the games he played, but for the way he played them, for the integrity, the consistency, the leadership, in a league that often chases the next big thing. Horford reminded us of the value and stability, of showing up, of doing your job, even when it doesn't make the highlight reel. That's legacy, that's respect, and whether he walks away quietly into retirement, transitions into a new role, or surprises us all with one more run, his place in Celtics lore is secure, immovable, just like his presence in the paint during crunch time, just like his voice in the locker room during chaos, just like the admiration he commands across the league. This isn't just the end of a player's time with a team. It's the end of an era, and Boston will never forget it, and so we wait for confirmation, for clarity, for that one final press conference where all the speculation gives way to truth. But until then, let the rumors swirl, let the whispers grow. Because if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that Al Horford doesn't do things halfway. When he commits, and when he leaves, he does so with grace. So whether he's stepping aside for good or simply stepping into something new, his impact will endure in banners and memories, in lessons passed down to younger players, in a culture he helped shape. The Celtics will continue, as they always do. New stars will rise, new leaders will emerge, but there will never be another Al Horford, not quite like him, not with that blend of heart, head, and humility. And if this is truly the end, then let's send him off not with sadness, but with celebration, because eras don't end every day. Legends don't retire every season, and for those of us lucky enough to witness it, the memory of Horford in green, calm, fierce, unshakable, will be one we carry long after the final buzzer sounds. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.